There we go. Yes, there we go. I am live. I am live. I'm taking my yoga block that I have my phone on to do my TikTok. I'm going to put the phone down, put this back where it belongs, and then take this and get it closer to where it belongs because that's where I keep my yoga bag. How does that sound? Sounds like fun, huh? Oh, there's my chapstick. Yay for chapstick. Fame and fortune, fame and fortune. Let me see what else is going on here real quick, just as people are showing up. Hey, Kelly Smith. Hello, Cheryl Siegel. Nice to see you. I love it. Mama Koala says you can see and hear me, and so does Shannon. Love that you guys know what I'm going to ask, so I don't even need to ask. Isn't that nice? Thank you for letting me know. Barb and Regina, nice to see all y'all. Yes, good afternoon, because we are afternoon, at least on the East Coast. Very cool. All righty. Just checking on stuff in case any sked things. No, good stuff. Good stuff good stuff's happening. When you look for the good, you're going to find the good. When you look for the crap, you don't have to look far to find the crappy stuff that's going on. So practice looking for the good. Practice looking for the union label. Okay. So nice to see everybody. Nice to see everybody. Love the earrings. Thank you. I will share with you. I don't always wear them because I go into coaching and I have my earbuds on. There we go, Maria. Nice for you to go over from TikTok in USC 595, California here. Okay, so it isn't noontime for you. It's like what 9 a.m. ish. But yay, nice to see you. Nice to see you. The earrings, I'll totally give you the. It's a brand called Scout. Yeah, I'm sure you can get it on the internet if you're interested in getting some like these. It's not a paid endorsement. I'm just sharing the good stuff. And I got them at this shop that I love to go into, but I rarely buy anything in Philly. I think it's called Verde. And I've gotten some nice bracelets there. I'm not a big jewelry person, as you know, but I do like these. So thank you. They're light, they're sassy, just like me. All righty. Whew, what a fun TikTok live we had. That was fun. That was a lot of people show up on the TikTok lives. I'm going to plug in my phone. I think my phone is taking a break too. Um, but here we are with a substantially fewer amount of people. That's fine. It's fine with me. I like small groups of people. I get overwhelmed by crowds. I have absolutely no interest in having millions of followers. That's a responsibility of which I have no interest. I like the right amount of people. And the right amount of people for me is whoever shows up and wants to be here and that I can help or I can amplify what they're saying, get you out of the rut, celebrate your wins, celebrate the moments of your life. There we go. We get people showing up. People who have practiced, people who are practicing a new skill. Seriously, it is a skill to sign off from TikTok because it is so sticky. I know myself. I get easily stuck on TikTok. I am stuck on band-aids because band-aids stuck on me. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, here we go. Now I realized my thing here is a little bit off center. Kat Roby is signing up. So Kat Roby shows up with her scheduled Beth Blinders round 2. Electric Boogaloo. Gonna do stuff. Find 2 fans. Notice a number, 1 sink, and move and organize 3 areas on my desk that are decluttering. Yeah, I know. Hard enough to handle 20 people, let alone millions. Yes, there is something that changes the dynamic when you scale after a certain point. Oh, but first, and actually, Kat Roby is offering like the live. I don't know where you guys see it, but from where I look, I see my comments and my face. Above my screen, I see a thing that says about 30 people have showed up. So welcome 30. And I see 12 thumbs ups. We always try to make it where the thumbs ups match the number. So this is again, learning to do your part if you choose to. Now, it doesn't make or break anything for me if you don't do it, but ask yourself why you're not doing it. And if it's because you don't want to, sure, that's cool. But if it's because you don't know how, if there's something you don't know how to do, there is a way of finding out how to do something you don't know how to do. And there is absolutely no shame or embarrassment to share with somebody, I don't know how to do that. Because then that is the first step in finding out how to do something. And I don't know about you, I'm in the helping service a lot. Okay, Krista, nice to see you. Um, don't you feel good knowing something and being able to help somebody with your knowledge? If somebody's at the store and they're trying to check out using like the computer or like the credit card thing, and they're struggling and you look over and I say, "Oh, I know what they're doing wrong." Then offering to help them, helping somebody with what they're struggling with. They may not, and you can ask them. You don't say, "Here, give me that and let me do it." You say, "Would you like some help with that?" They may choose to say yes, they may choose to say no, but offering and being available to help people. Patty M found the thumb. I love it. Uh-huh. All righty. I love this. Ellen stopped in to say hello to us all, but she says, "I sure wish I could stay and play, but I'm off to drop a bag for donation and then errands." Thanks, Beth. Errands. Running errands. I like running errands. Checking things off the list. Love it. Yay. All righty. Therapy Gal Sue is being specific in the comments about what she's doing. Hour 2 started and live is liked. Check. 1, decluttering paper from my desktop. Check. 2, decluttering the top of the closet dresser. Check. And I appreciate this gift of help. Yeah. Getting into the vibe of appreciation helps you get started. Okay. Kat Roby found out some more information that's going to tailor her sink finding. Patty M is also offering that you can listen to the YouTube in the car. That's true. I like to think of it. Somebody at one point, and I totally admit, I feel like the calendar in my brain says sometime around the late last summer or fall of last year, I was really thinking I was going to start a podcast. And then I realized, work smarter, not harder. You close your eyes and listen to what I say, and it's a freaking podcast. The other thing I love so much more than me sitting in a room alone with a microphone just rambling on things that I hope will be helpful, I so much prefer that we can embrace the technology that connects us so I can help you in real time. I can help you in real time with what you're struggling with. And when you show up and feel okay saying, "I'm struggling with this, I don't know how to do this thing," when you share that, you are doing a couple of things that are helping other people. One is you are making people less afraid to speak up and say, "I don't know how to do that either." Or maybe they don't speak up, but they learn from you because you were brave to say, "I don't do this." Yay, Laura DeWeese figured this out. Yay. Very cool. You have just expanded your skill set. One of the funny things is, so I do my one-on-one coaching with clients on Zoom. Many people who I've coached have not spent a lot of time on Zoom. So a lot of coaching is helping them feel comfortable in signing on, getting the microphone working, get the camera working, showing up for recurring meetings, using the skills. Think about when we do the declutter parties. Knowing how to turn on and off your camera or unmute yourself and mute yourself, how to find the gallery view on your phone. I only learned that I think it was the Saturday decluttering party because somebody else in the comments was telling somebody else because I do the declutter parties from my desktop. Keep yourself open. Always be learning. Expand. Keep yourself open to learn new things. That's how you stay flexible and young at heart. If you say, "Nope, this is it, I'm not going to learn anything else," you've just cut yourself off from all sorts of new things that can help your life be easy. Okay? So yay for everybody who or tuned in right now to this Destination Decluttered YouTube live on Tuesday. I'm trying to practice Tuesday, June 10th, noontime Eastern until 1 p.m. Eastern. And for those of you who maybe just randomly scrolled by and didn't just hop over from TikTok or sign up because you saw it on the TV guide page of the secret page of my website, my name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Think of destinationdecluttered.com. Okay. Now, I don't know how to do that on the phone when I'm into the declutter party, says Patty. Patty, this is good. We're going to teach somebody something right now. Okay. I don't know how to do that. What is that? Put it in the comments so I can help you with it because that is too vague. Give me something more specific and I might be able to help you with it. Okay. Um, Notice that. More more specificity gives you a more specific answer to help you with what you are specifically struggling with. In the meantime, what are you struggling with? Get specific and put it in the comments if you like. If you don't, I'll just have to kind of, blindly guess and kind of throw a dart and hope it hits something that would help you. So why not help a sister out here and help yourself out at the same time by taking a moment and saying, yeah, where have I stopped my decluttering journey? I'm almost there, but I'm not there yet. I've stopped here. Maybe it's like what do you call it? A uh, a road trip. I'm always thinking of road trips. A road trip. I'm almost in Palm Springs, but I'm stuck in, where's my map? I'm almost there, right? I started here. I started and I want to get to here, and I'm chugging along and I'm stuck, I don't know, here. What's the state we're stuck in? I'm stuck in Colorado. Why did I stop here? Why am I not moving from here? I've hit like a plateau, like with weight loss. Why am I stuck here? Okay. Okay. Patty says, okay, sorry. Gallery view. Oh, I love it. Thank you for the specificity, Patty. This is what I've learned. Is when you're on the phone, you can swipe to I think it's the right or the left, and it gives you that gallery view. Somebody on one of the parties said that. So the next time you're on a declutter party, of which there are quite a few scheduled for June, you can practice that the next time you're on. Okay. And you don't have to apologize. Just getting more specific is a habit, is communicating clearly to somebody, giving context so they know what you're talking about. My husband is in a number of bands, and in two of the bands, there are two guys named Eric. So when he starts to talk out of the blue about Eric in the band, I often have to say, excuse me, hold on. Can you tell me specifically what Eric you're talking about? Then he provides context, and then I can know more what he's talking about. Okay. Now, Kara says, yesterday I wasn't feeling great. Physically, I'm assuming. So I did a few things, but laid down and took a 3-hour nap. Yeah, notice how your physical self has an impact on what you do. I finished the day by doing a few things, and today I am back on track. And sometimes it happens. Yes. Yes, 100%. It will happen. Nothing has gone wrong here, except that your spirit is encased in a human aging body that gets tired sometimes. So do not ignore how you feel physically. Tune into it and treat yourself better physically. Take a nap. Take a nap out of your day. Take some time, take a nap. You will feel better after a nap than before a nap. You will do better after a nap than before better. And maybe you take a nap and then you putter and declutter and then you go to bed. Perhaps both of those things, just like the water that is raining is going to allow things to bloom later, but you have to give it a chance to absorb, just like sleep. So that's why we say starting with the physical and doing a scan down, saying, I feel kind of tired. Maybe I'll lie down. That happens to me a lot, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I start my days early and I kind of hit the ground running. I front load my days. And so sometimes, and recently it's happened around 3 or 4 in the afternoon, I'm like, I am tired. So I will lay down on the bed and I will scroll on TikTok. It makes me feel better. And then when I get up, I feel better and I have a few more hours of things to do and then I go to bed. So it happens. Now, Laura, let me help you with this. Yes, and live your life like a road trip. Oh, hey, check it out. Unknown. Were you reading my mug? Yeah, I was going to say, oh, I have that written on a mug somewhere. The other one is every little bit helps. So Laura DeWeese, let me help you with this. Decisions. Let's work backwards because Laura is saying too many things, ... decisions. Yes. Decluttering is decision making, but do not be afraid. Don't fear the reaper. Do not be afraid of making decisions. But what I will say is some of the times we are afraid of making decisions because we are looking at all of the things. You're looking at too many things. Do not make decisions on too many things, but notice that feeling that you have of having too many things is making you feel physically and energetically not good. Okay? So calming down and chunking down. I repeat myself all the time because this is valid. Slowing down, calming down, quieting down. Maybe sitting down and sipping down a sip of water, or three. I just took 3 sips of water. Breathing down to the bottom of your lungs, quieting down your voice so that you're quieting down the voice in your head. Now, they're maybe still talking, but they're talking at a slower volume. But shh, quiet down. I need to feel better. And when I'm feeling better energetically, because I've calmed down and quieted down, then 2 other downs are going to help you: writing down and chunking down. Writing down all of the too many things. All right, let's get specific. Notice I got specific with Patty, with that. So, too many things. How about this, Laura? Let's play a game. What are 3 things that are too many? Like, what are 3 things that come up when you declutter? What are 3 things you want to declutter then you're struggling with? I'd like to use 3 is a magic number. Yes, it is. It's a magic number. So let's use 3. What are 3 things you're struggling to declutter? What are 3 rooms that are cluttered that you'd like better? What are 3 things in your kitchen that you don't like but you're afraid to get rid of? Pick 3 specific things and I can help you with that. But what we're doing is we are chunking down and getting specific. Chunk it into a specific. It's like going to the doctor. If you went to the doctor and you're like, I don't know, I just feel kind of crappy, like that could be a starting point. Well, where more specifically are you feeling crappy? In your head, in your foot, in your gut? Depending upon that specific, then you can focus in on what can help on each one of those places. Chunking it down to a more specific area or a more specific piece of stuff that you're struggling to declutter. I came across something yesterday, so I will tell you again. I know I keep on sounding like the girl who cried wolf as far as our basement goes. Today is supposed to be the day that the guy comes and does the final walk around and we really get stuff going. But yesterday, I had shared with friends of mine when we did a Zoom call. I did a Zoom call from what we call the tiki room in our house. It was, when the house was built in 1955, the dining room, but we don't dine. And the kitchen is big enough for our Haywood Wakefield table. So the tiki room is used for listening to records, having people over, laying down on the couch and reading a book. That's me. And occasionally, especially during Zoom, during COVID, that's where my husband and I set up our 2 rattan chairs in front of the computer so we could have a Zoom with our friends with a fun background. Yesterday, or Sunday, when I was on the Zoom with our friends, I was complaining. I was sharing with them my frustration of how long this clutter has been in our living area, because and it really was starting to affect me. I'm tired of this. This is not making me feel good. I can't use the couch to lay down. Um, I feel like the clutter's taking over. And so I said to my husband yesterday, I want to reclaim the tiki room from the clutter, even if the basement's not done yet. So I got specific, and it was only a handful of things. 3 things I changed to feel better about the declutter. I moved, notice, I verbed a noun. I love that. I verbed a noun. And all of a sudden she's like, where's my Mad Libs or my Schoolhouse Rock? Verb, that's what's happening. And a noun is person, place, or thing. I verbed a noun. I moved a guitar into another room. I told my husband to move the weed whacker that he was assembling in the middle of the room. I actually just realized too, I told my husband, I asked my husband, different verb. I asked my husband if he would please hang up or just put the cover on the giant wreath that was on the couch and put that on top of the clutter in the other room. Now, did I move it from one place to a cluttered place? Is it at its final resting point? No, it's not, because its final resting point is going to be a place that's going to be painted, but it's better than it was now. It's better than it was now. I was able to vacuum. We were able to turn on this fun little lamp we have that has like a tiki guy on it with an awesome shade that a friend made down the street. I loved, and I took a picture of the room because I was so pleased at how it looked. I dusted, I put little felt feet on our record player because we had some big chunky ones before that I didn't like the look of, and it feels so good to now look in that room. Now, is there still clutter in the living room and in the hallway? You bet your sweet bippy there is. But we have reclaimed one space. And then I look into the living room and I look at the three chunks of stuff there. And I'm like, okay, that's not that bad because we have a place for it in the basement once the basement's done. Okay, Sybil Jordan, I want to sew and quilt. Awesome. Oops, I can't get started because I feel the need to clean. I am tired and I want to sew. Then sew. Dust will always be there. Upset the apple cart. Notice I assume you're not cleaning. You're tired and you're not cleaning. There's something behind that. That's fine. Many of us don't particularly love to clean. So start sewing. We like to get stuff done here and have some fun. Okay? We like to have some fun and get some stuff done. So start some sewing. Notice when you do that, your backseat driver may start to pipe up and tell you why you can't, but I tell you, you can. You have a choice. Who are you going to believe? Do what you want to do. Now, Patty, I just saw this. Got my list done of things. I have things I asked other people to do today. I have to focus on other stuff, or I'll jump in and do what I asked them to do. Yes, practice what you preach. Hold firm to the new way that you want your house to be. Trust in the other people to do what you ask them to do. Don't give them an excuse not to do it by doing it for them. Practice, Patty, practice. Okay? A lot of this is practice, people. Today, Kara says, today, boxes set for post office. Notice how specific that is. Boxes are going to be brought to the post office. Posting, verb, a 10-minute garden tour. Yeah. Took pictures for work in a restaurant, and the laundry has been flipped. Now posting drafts. No, notice action, verbs all over the place. Next, the summer curtains are going to be put up. Curtains up is a verb. Washing the velvet curtains, washing is a verb. Tonight, select board meeting. Attend a select board meeting. There we go. Hey, Maria, it is working. It is working. Mwahaha. I told you it would work. But isn't it fun to see it on your own? It is working. I see a lot of space on my space. How does it feel when you see that space on your space? Hopefully it feels good. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Unknown. I see you. You pop up often. I will acknowledge you, and I will say, honestly, the best thing you can do is get some help for your mental health. If you have attachment issues and an intense fear of losing people, there's help out there for you with that. Now, I say this with love, and I say this with firmness. This is not the best place for you to get the help you need, you know? And if you keep on posting, I will have to shut you down because this is not the right forum for that. Okay? What I want to offer to you is, yep, life is like a train. Some people leave at different stops. You say that, but you can't accept it. Okay. So notice that you are choosing not to believe what your brain just offered. Okay. So, unknown, I with love, yes, am saying, don't show up anymore. Okay. And I took an action to make sure that happened. Yes, I know unknown is feeling a little like a bot. All the love, if I'm correct, unknown. Now the great thing is, on Cat Ruby, between the both of us, it's like, yeah, this is not the place for that. And luckily, I can hide that person from the channel. But notice how I did that. I give people the benefit of the doubt, but I am firm in what I want. I'm not here to solve everybody's problems. Lord knows I've got, relationship things that I struggle with and whatnot. We're here for decluttering. But notice what I just did. I decluttered the um, comment section of something that didn't belong here. Okay. And I took an action to do it, and now we're going to move along. We're not going to waste our time on a bot or a troll. Maud Betty ain't got time for that, right? Yeah, Cheryl Siegel says you were very nice to unknown. Yeah, I start by being nice, but I can also be a raging bitch if I need to be. But why? Why start that way? It just wastes more of my energy. And I like to conserve I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I will cut you if you cross me or hurt a friend. But I don't have to get to that. There's other things I can do. All righty. Kat Roby says, back to the sink quest. Now Kat has more information about specifically what size sink she needs. Getting more specific gets you closer to having a decision that's making you feel good. Sink Quest 2025. I love it. Now, let me just check here. Booli papa. Okay, cool. This is neat. So here's a real life example. I just realized I have like a corner in my head. Here's a real life example of getting specific to get what you want. Literally in my phone right now is a text thread going on between my husband and the owner of the company whose crew did our basement floor. Now, 95% of what they did, we dig, we love. There's nothing activated about that. However, when I looked at it more closely and more specifically, there were a couple of things that bugged me. I wrote them down. There were also a couple of things that didn't bug me that bugged my husband. So he got clear on what those were and we both shared them with ourselves. Now, we are going to share those things with the gentleman who owns the company so that they can do right by us and sign off on this professional project. It is very specific things. And to some people, it's like, no big deal. I can deal with it. No, I don't want to do that. I want to just love without getting worked up, show them where I think it could have been done better. And trust me, you guys would be agreeing with me at this stuff. I won't get into specifics, but being clear about what's going to take to make me feel good and sharing that with somebody who can make it happen. My husband tells it to me. I'm like, I agree with you, but we're not about to go paint that or scrape that or put another thing. There's somebody better for that job, and it's the basement guy. And literally within 31 minutes, he's going to come here, and we are not going to be afraid of speaking up to say very calmly, like not adversarially, to say these few things would make us feel really good about the professionalism and the tidying up of this job. But it takes practice to ask for what you want, to not be like, oh, I'll just deal with it. It's fine. Being afraid of getting somebody mad at you, you know? All righty. Now, Patty says, need more energy. Words for list when need to declutter. Instead of declutter stuff on the counter or go through. Looking for positive, happy, motivating words. Okay. Positive, happy, motivating words. Choosing, appreciating, loving. What's the other word I'm thinking of? Curating. Yeah, declutter, choosing what I want, what I don't want. Tidying. I don't know. That's a good one. Making a tidy place. Try some of those. See how those verbs change. You know, Kara, I made with a deal with Hubs this weekend, keeping one killer vintage tension pole lamp, selling the others. I'll make a video of it. Thought of you. That's so funny. I was looking at a mid-century modern online auction just recently, literally last night, probably when I was tired and scrolling on my bed. Yeah, pretty much was. And I saw some tension pole lamps and I looked at them more and I was like, "Ooh, those are cool. Do I need one? No. Could I fit them in? I don't know." But I looked closer and they weren't what I want. So it's a tension pole lamp kind of day, right? Kara is offering to you, Patty, decluttering brings me space and peace. I am creating space and peace in my life with these actions, you know? Yeah. Yeah. And Lori is saying I had to address issues with porch also. Spoke up because I didn't want to regret after. Yes, speak up. Use your voice. Tell people you love them. Tell people when things are not going right. The sooner you can do it, the sooner you can get closer to where things are and they don't build up like resentments. Okay? Alrighty. Cat Patty says, I'm dealing with cake icing. Oh, interesting. Stopping at bakery tomorrow and requesting what I want. I may have to change some things, but I want what I want. The more you know what you want, the easier it is to get it. It really is. I will share this with you under the guise of travel. As I was at the doctor today, um, my friend who I'm going to the Azores with in the fall started sending Airbnb things that she looked at. And one of the things I realized was she was sending them is the last time we stayed in Airbnb, it was the three of us, it was a 2-bedroom Airbnb. And you know what my brain said? I would really like it if the next time we stayed in an Airbnb that there be 3 bedrooms so each one of us has that. Now, I haven't looked at any of these, and one of them may have it, but now I know better. Now, will I be able to sleep in a king size bed with my friend Chris because Michelle snores? Sure. But what would I like better is if each one of us had our own room, especially for a week. So notice the more specific you can get, the more clear you can be in asking for it, and especially when it's nothing, unreasonable. Yeah, there we go. They are kind of kitschy. And I said, I know. Kara, it's so funny because I have a tension lamp in our living room. That actually, this is going to be a name drop to some people, maybe not to others. Charles Phoenix came to my own living room. Talk about a life, like just a milestone moment in my life. And he complimented me on my tension lamp. It looks pretty much almost like a circus because it's clear or it's white plastic and it's got red, yellow, and blue stripes around it. So cheery. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Um, so that is a tension lamp thing. Yeah. So very fun. Okay, Maria is bringing up a really good point. Okay. Um, Maria is saying, why is it easier to declutter other people's stuff than ours? Really simple. You cannot hear the stories that their stuff, you are deaf to the stories that those items tell those people. Think of it. Your stuff tells you stories, but you cannot hear the stories. To you, their stuff is just stuff. I sound like I'm co opting what's his name? George Carlin. To you, their stuff is just stuff. To them, their stuff has stories behind it, much like your stuff does. I am great at my daughter's house or friend's house. Yeah. Yeah, I am too. To me, it's stuff. I've told the story of me throwing away a pair of my mother's shoes in a fit of pique, of anger, of frustration, of just being done physically and mentally. I had no idea, even with the woman having 120 pairs of shoes, that was the one pair of shoes that she was like, hey, did you notice what happened to these? So just notice. That's why. Yeah. Now, Patty is saying we place value on our stuff. We don't consider that others unless they tell us. Yeah. Uh-huh. Now, Kelly Smith says we always shared 4 ladies to a room for dance competition, and I realized I don't want to do that. Yeah, I can afford to share a room with one person, so we each have a bed. Yeah. And I want the same thing. I've done different things in different stages of my life. I have slept on floors and on futons and on couches, driven all night with a band in a van on a band with my man. I am in a different season of my life. As I have said to my friends and I've saying it to myself, I'm in my bougie era. And my bougie era is probably like some people's not even, but to me, staying in a hotel is even bougier than staying on a futon. So notice that you've done things in the past. Do you want to still do that? And the answer can be no. All right. Yeah. Becky Ridgway is noticing the difference between decluttering somebody else's stuff and yourself. Becky is emptying a house right now as a job for a friend, not a bit of emotional attachment. So practice that on your own self. Notice if emotional attachment is making it difficult, makes it easy for you to declutter somebody else's house. How can you practice some emotional detachment with your own stuff to make it easy for you to declutter. So detach the emotion from the item. You have an item, right? Here's an item. You have attached an emotion to it, a story, some words that cause a feeling equals emotion is a feeling. When you detach that, you can look at it as if it were just a thing in somebody else's house. You see no story. You look at it with a different lens, from a different perspective. You just see a mug. Now, why am I keeping this mug? And it has stuff in it. Why did I buy it? Because it has a story attached to me and I didn't want to get rid of it, but I also didn't want to use it because, I mean, look at this. This is my kind of mug. This is actually too big. I feel like, what's her name? Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This is too small. This is too big. But the one that's just right is a lot closer to this profile and construction. But I still like it, so I saved it, but I use it as the home for these. Detaching the emotion and the feeling. Just so you can always reattach it. It doesn't mean anything now, but attaching meaning when you don't need to just makes things harder. Okay? Yeah. So Patty is saying, I helped my sister-in-law when they were moving. When we hit things that my brother had from my parents, I had to put it aside. I couldn't declutter it yet. Yes, because that is sentimental objects. It's causing you to feel a feeling, you know? I love that Maria is feeling liberated from her stuff. Yay. Now, Mary Coker is saying crafting and fixing can be decluttering. Completely, 100%. I fixed the hose reel that was tossed into the garage since last year. Awesome. Also, just finished crafting and repurposing a lantern I got for free. It is so cute now. Yeah, that's one of the things that can shift clutter from being clutter to good stuff. That's why, honestly, one of the things that I've been helping my husband with his musical equipment that is downstairs is literally, if you want it but it's broken, let's pay the money to get it fixed. Because you can't use it if it's broken, but you will be more likely to use it or sell it if it's fixed. So what is a verb that is going to take you to the next step? Fixing, crafting, sewing. Somebody set up thread. I want to sew and quilt. Sewing will probably help you declutter your quilt patches, right? Because you saved a bunch of fabric. You're going to decide what fabric you want to use in a quilt and which ones you don't. And then the stuff that you don't want to use on a quilt, maybe you can donate that somewhere where somebody else can do that. Okay. So decorating, fixing, crafting, 3 verbs that can help you feel better about the stuff in your home. The quantity of it, the quality of it, where it is housed, where it is stored. Isn't that liberating, as Maria says? Yeah, this feels good. This feels good to live in a house, to even one room where I look at it and it looks good to my eye, that it functions well. I know what's in there and I can easily get to it. I can easily use it. I can easily put it away. Yay! Cat Roby found a sink. Yes. Here, let me use some of these little dooley bops here. Yay, yay, yay. Awesome. 100s. Yay. Hearts. Good stuff for Cat Roby. Fun. Isn't that a nice feeling? Getting specific, looking for something you want and then finding something that fits that specific description. Feels so good, just like Chuck Mangione. Awesome. Now, here's a story from me, as I said earlier. Here's a story from me decluttering the dining room that we didn't want to dine in. So we decided to change it into a tiki room, which is with a rattan set and our hi-fi, as it were, and all sorts of artwork. I actually decluttered a collection that I had had there for years. I had a collection of old kind of pot metal, uh, kitschy, what do you call them? Like ashtrays in the shapes of the states. I will totally admit to seeing that once in a magazine, easily 25 to 30 years ago, thinking what a cute idea, and made that collection myself. But what I realized is they seem to just be collecting dust, and none of them specifically have a specific memory attached to me. It was more just decorative. So I said, could I let these go? And the answer was like, yeah, no big deal. So once I did that, I took another look around my room and I was like, okay, if I'm letting go of these things, is there anything else I could let go? Because I'm going to go see my sister actually in a couple of days. And she has a vintage shop space that she has now. And I know I'm bringing her a chair and ottoman for herself where she can sell it. So I said, okay, is there anything else in here that I'm ready to let go of or I want to let go of? And no, after that one little thing of 15 little ashtrays on a glass tray, the answer was no, I'm happy with this. So sometimes decluttering is just simply the removal of one thing and feeling good about it. There we go. Now, Kat Roby had chosen to put her funsies on hold until she found a sink. And sometimes we do that. Sometimes we can do that. That will encourage us to do something that um, we need to get done. And then we reward ourselves with something fun. And now she gets to play in piles of clutter. Kara says, bring galoshes. Yeah, I know. Huh? Actually, we're going to be in Vermont and New Hampshire. I think it's still raining up there. But yes, I am totally coming with my bougie um, raincoat. And you're good. Actually, this morning when I went to the doctor, I wore sandals that are more like the Keen sandals than fancy ones. But thank you for the reminder. Yes, being prepared. Notice how good it can feel to get something done that you have been wanting to get done, fun or otherwise. I feel so much better having gone to the doctor. I feel good having gone to the doctor and having scheduled my follow-up right then. When I go get my haircut, I feel good. And it makes me feel good to, when I'm there, schedule the next one. I have it calendarized so I'm not scrambling at the last minute trying to find something. Decluttering my life, figuring out what I want, writing it down, saying, how can I get there? Sharing that idea with people who can make it happen. Saying to my friends, you want to go on vacation again? I was thinking of the Azores. They said, hell yeah. Now that plan is in the works. Noticing that you don't want to have a connecting flight, so setting a Google flight alert for nonstop flights from Boston to the Azores, because I'll fly up to Boston because they're from there. Saying I want to get there, and I want it to be a nonstop flight. I don't want to lay over in Porto and hop over. The more specific you can get about what makes you feel good, the easier it is to focus on it and to get it. So use that same idea in your house. Look at a certain area of your house. Do I like what I'm looking at? If I do, yay. You could also be specific of what you like. You could be in an appreciation, getting into that sense of appreciation, the energy of appreciation. I love that lampshade. I love that thing that I made and then I got framed, and the colors I chose and the fact that it's framed and I hung up the frame. I love looking over here at this year-long calendar and seeing where I have had good stuff that happened. And I love seeing the good stuff that I have planned. I love doing a Zoom where I can look at the back and see these things that I've collected. When I look somewhere and I don't like what I see and I don't like, okay, that is bugging me. That's a list. And then saying, what can I do about what's bugging me? Okay. Now, Maria is saying, what should I do with a bunch of crocheted items I made and don't use? Shawls and blankets. In the immortal words of, it's like, was it Nietzsche or the Red Hot Chili Peppers who once said, give it away, give it away, give it away now. Okay? Give it away now. Okay? Why not give it away? That's one of the reasons I do not craft, is because at the end of the day, I don't want the product. I might want one of them, but I don't want to make multiples of them. So it's easier for me to buy one. Maybe you sell them, Maria. Maybe you give them away. But if you don't want them, you've made a decision. I do not want these shawls and these blankets. What is the easiest way for me to get them out of my life? The easiest way is probably donating or giving. That's what I would do. And yes, yes, Patty M, that is a year-long calendar on my wall. Yeah, I would show you, I would turn my screen, but just imagine it. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Yes, I played with that because I had a big empty space here that's basically waiting for a kick-ass piece of art that I've yet to find. So I thought this is going to be fun. I'm going to make a calendar and all I'm going to put on it is travel. So I can look at the things I've done and look at the things I'm about to do and feel good about it. And speaking of feeling good, I feel so much better after my mental health appointment, says Judy Dukes. Awesome. I love it. Honest to God, when I hear that the people I hang out with are getting help with what they're struggling with. Because I show up at a certain level of depth to help you with things, but I don't go deeper than what I do. I do not have any interest in that, frankly. That's okay because there are people there that can't do what I do, but are really good with the mental health stuff. So I love that oftentimes when people are working with me, they realize that they need deeper help and they get it. And they share that to encourage other people. If you're struggling with your mental health, get help for what ails you and get the right kind of help. You wouldn't ask a lifeguard to help you with your mental health. You wouldn't ask a psychiatrist to help you if you were drowning. Get the help that's going to help you. Okay? And look at this. This is really fun. Remember, we talked about getting specific. I said, give it away, give it away, give it away now. And then that's pretty vague. So Lori got specific. Children's hospitals, senior centers, women's shelters. That could be a way that you get that you let go of those things that you don't want and you could feel good about where they're going. Yeah. Oh, hey, Jason is saying, and we got some time here. Not sure if you remember me, but I was on your live sometime toward the end of last week. At any rate, I used ChatGPT to help me list 45 different items. Awesome. I don't know if she's still on here, but Kara's Garden or Kara here with the little ferns on her words. She was the one who was doing that with her stuff too. Jason, I hope that worked out for you. Thank you for chiming in. Yeah. Finding the tools that make the things you want to do easier. Yes. See, there's Kara right below you. And it's funny. She's got the little ferns on TikTok, but not here. I have them documented because I wanted to make sure I have records of these antiques. The 45 items are some collections. Yeah. ChatGPT is a tool you can use in your toolkit to make things easier. I currently don't use it now, but I know I will. I just haven't started to play with it yet. I think because I'm cool with what I have and I just haven't given the bandwidth to use it. Once I see that it's valuable to me, I will probably use it more. So I love that. I'm glad you found a tool that made it easy for you to do something you wanted, which was to document the stories and the details about your stuff. And look, Kara did it and she found something that worked for her. And since she just came to everybody, she's like, hey, this worked for me. I don't know if it'll work for you, but it worked for me. And I just wanted to share it because this really helped me. That's exactly what I'm doing when I do my TikTok lives and YouTube lives and coaching. Hey, if you're struggling with something, this helped me. If you want help, this is what helped me. I'm willing to share it with you. I feel like I'm yelling on the playground or something, you know? And I love it. This is so great. Jason said ChatGPT is a lot of fun and really helped me get over the obstacle of having a lot of stuff. Yeah. And I love this because Kara is also noticing too. It is a tool, but you are in control of the tool. Just be sure to double check ChatGPT as it can sometimes make stuff up. I've caught it before, but mostly it's great. And it gets you started. It gets you started. What I have found out about myself, yes, I know myself, certain things that get me started. They call it hallucinating. Interesting. Interesting. I know for a stone cold fact that if I were to ever write a book called Destination Decluttered, My co-writer would be ChatGPT. I would say to ChatGPT, go to my videos on Destination Decluttered on YouTube, scan them for the recurring themes and stories and songs, and create a structure that would be in book form to instruct people on these things. Like I would have it do the legwork. Once it came up with something, then I would be able to use that and get started with it. So it doesn't replace you. It's like your sidekick. Only you can do the things, only you can make the decisions, and saying, is that accurate? Oh, it got it wrong. So run it through your organic intelligence as opposed to the artificial sweetener, the artificial intelligence. Yeah. Yes, I did catch some made up stuff. It made me chuckle, but it has definitely helped me to get over the obstacles. And isn't it great to have something that makes it easier for you to get over the obstacles, or to just encounter what you think is an obstacle and say, I know what I can do to just push this obstacle aside and drive on through. Isn't that cool to find a tool in your toolkit? So, everybody here, Kara and Jason are having fun with it. If you think ChatGPT could help you do something you're struggling with, play with it. Play with it. Go to ChatGPT or Claude, I think is one that, what's his name? Seth Godin recommends Claude. Um, Ask it how to declutter your home. Somebody said they took a picture of a bookcase and it gave some ideas. But don't just believe it. Always check your sources. Okay? Always check your sources. Now, it's funny. Kara says, I'm listening right now and using it. I call it my assistant. Yes, let it assist you. Don't let it replace you. And she says it's wonky today. Yeah, maybe Kara, maybe your Chat GPT, had a rough night last night, and it's kind of it showed up hungover. McDoug says these sessions are getting better every day. Cool, because you know what? I'm always trying to learn. So I don't show up saying the same thing I did 2.5 years ago. I have grown, I have learned, and I try to implement the most up to date, accurate stuff. And I know that this stuff that I'm sharing right now, if I continue to do what I'm doing, is going to feel outdated and small 2 years from now if I keep on growing and expanding. And so that's okay. Isn't it fun to keep on learning? Isn't it fun to keep on expanding and discover? I discovered this about me. Two things I love doing: creating order out of chaos, helping people with something that I'm good at. And I guess there's three. And then discovering something that I think is cool and sharing it with people that I think will also think it's cool. Hey, I just discovered this rare record, this, Smith's 45. Check me out. I just discovered. And let me tell you the story of how I found this, George Jensen brooch at the Goodwill or something, like something that I think is cool and it's got a story behind it. Look what I did. Isn't this neat? Isn't this fun? Don't you love discovering something that is fun and sharing it with other people? You know? Haha. Patty got caught by a squirrel. She made a new list and started one thing and then went out to something else. Catch yourself when you squirrel. Catch yourself, notice it, and then you can choose to continue on Squirrel Road, or you can get back on the road to Destination Decluttered. It's up to you. You choose your journey. You choose your own adventure. Life is a choose your own adventure. Every time you get on the road, there are forks in the road all over the place. You decide whether you take that fork in the road, and maybe it's a good one. Maybe you decided to say it's going to take me longer to get there, but I'm going to stop at the scenic overlook because, as Seals and Crofts might say, we may never pass this way again. Doing it right the first time versus saying, I should have done something. Like we're leaving early for Vermont on Friday because I noticed a couple of mid-century modern and vintage places up closer to Burlington that I want to get to before they close. So we're going to take some time and start early so that we can do the things we want versus arriving late and then saying, I wish we got there before they closed. So notice, life is a choose your own adventure. Every day you choose to do one thing, and when you choose to do one thing, you're choosing to not do something else with that energy and time. So choose wisely. Choose the thing that's going to get you closer to the result you want. Like, I'm going to choose to sign off in about 6 minutes, 4 minutes rather. Ooh, did the math wrong. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to put on some shoes. And then ideally by 1:15, the basement guy is going to be here. I'm going to choose to speak up about what we're not so happy with, as opposed to choosing to keep quiet. I'm going to choose to do it in an air of working together. I know you can help us make this be such a good place that we can't wait to show off. Because right now, there's a few things that all we need to do is that last 5%. And I know we all want the same destination, which is a basement that you feel proud of showing for testimonials. And we feel good about it being there. So notice where your choices are. You have more choices than you think, but don't let that overwhelm you. Just focus on the choice in front of you. I have the choice to eat a Big Mac or a salad. Whichever one you choose, just feel good about your decision. Own it. Feel good about it. Hell yeah, I had a cheeseburger when I was in bed on Saturday night because I didn't realize I forgot to eat when we were out late and we got home and I was hungry. And I feel better when I have food in my belly. So, yes, I totally had a McDonald's cheeseburger. Not feeling bad about your decisions, embarrassed, ashamed. No, make a decision, but feel good about it. I feel good. Do a little James Brown. And I feel good because you know what? I don't know. It feels better than feeling bad. Denying yourself. Oh, it's midnight and we've been out seeing a band, and I'm gonna come home and eat a salad. Well, first of all, salads are not available through the drive-through. Second of all, didn't feel good to me. But some days I'm eager to eat a salad. I look forward to it. Other times I'm not. You make different decisions at different times. Feel good about your decisions. As Harry Hood would say, you can feel good, good about Hood. Now, we got 2 minutes left, so we're going to wind down. So many of us, so this is great, 42 people. Hey, I'm thinking many of you know who I am, but in case not, in case you were scrolling on the YouTube and you just came across and you're like, what the hell is going on here, people? My name is Beth, um, and I'm a decluttering life coach. I'm also obviously not AI generated because ain't nobody going to make this stuff up, right? Um, I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered, destinationdecluttered.com. That is where you find out all the good info. You find out how to sign up for my free mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. Free mailing list, people. The group gets access to a secret page on my website. Secret page has links to declutter parties. We do declutter parties. We get together on Zoom and we declutter together forever. What part, right? We have fun doing it. Declutter parties, TikTok lives, and YouTube lives. You may have stumbled across this one yourself organically. However, they are scheduled. There's a TV guide portion of the hidden page of my website. The TV guide shows you what station and what time this show is on. Sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm not. When I'm not on, the YouTube channel has now today over 735 videos that you can listen to, you can watch, they can keep you company when you are decluttering or just learning something. I realized if each one of those videos are an hour long, which many of them are, you could listen to a fresh episode every single day for 2 years. Now, would you hear the same thing over and over again? Perhaps, because repetition works, and repeating something that works is what I do. It's going to be a lot of simple things over and over again until it clicks. And I say it in different ways and I break out into different songs and whatever it is that I feel might connect you with this aha moment of I get it now. I show up in the hopes that you get that aha inspiration, that spark from your ignition that gets you in gear so you're driving towards your destination decluttered. Now, I love this. Kat Roby, as we conclude, says, thank you, groupies. I love that she calls us groupies. Groupies and tubies, because I guess we're on YouTube. Groupies and tubies for keeping me entertained while I find fixtures that I thought would take 15 minutes. Piles can wait, but they are very patient piles. They've been waiting already. Yeah, get stuff done and have some fun. Get used to making decisions and lean into the decisions that make you feel good in the short term and in the long term. And it's pretty awesome. I haven't been this way all my life, but I have been for many past years, and it feels so much better than the alternative. Okay. I'm going to sign off. I will see some of you tomorrow on TikTok, on YouTube. If you want to know when, destinationdecluttered.com. Sign up for the mailing list, and you're going to be a groupie. All right. Bye.